Hope you are doing well. In the previous class, we learned the best Christmas present in the world, phrasal verbs and noun phrase. In today's class, we will discuss the poem, the ant and the cricket, the letter writing and the grammar part. Shall we start?
The overview of this lesson. The overview of this lesson mainly consists of 6 components, and they are: before you read introduction, reading comprehension, vocabulary, speaking, writing, and the last one, the poem, The Ant and the Cricket. In this session, we will discuss speaking, writing, and the poem, The Ant and the Cricket. Learning outcomes. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to recall the significances or events of some dates that occurred in the story, list the names of the characters in the story, infer the importance of the envelope, identify the uses of phrasal verbs, describe a roll-top desk and Burlington House nursing home, identify the noun phrase and arrange the adjectives according to their order, express your ideas on the topic if wars are the only ways to resolve conflict, write an informal letter to your friend, choose the correct form of the verb. It's time for recapitulation the previous lesson. In the previous class, we have discussed the best Christmas present in the world and phrasal verbs. Let us go to the next session of our class, that is working with language. Read the following sentence carefully. I took out a small black tin box. Now, identify the subject, verb, and object. So, the subject is I, and verb or phrasal verb is took out. I took out what? A small black tin box, which is an object. And this object, it is also called as noun phrase. Now, let us see what is a noun phrase. Noun phrase. Let us see the definition of this noun phrase. A noun phrase is a group of words that does the work of a noun. Example, I took out a small black tin box. The words which are in italic form is said to be a noun phrase. And this noun phrase, it mainly consists of two parts. One, it has a noun called head word, that is the box, and the phrase consisting of 4 adjectives preceding it, a small black tin. Read the following sentences and identify the noun phrase. First one. First, someone saw a large white flag. What is the noun phrase in this sentence? Yes, a large white flag. He knew the lovely old lady. He knew what? Right, the lovely old lady is the noun phrase. Coming to the next one. I have made a nice Christmas cake. I have made what? A nice Christmas cake, and that is the noun phrase. Very good. Students, we discussed that the noun or the head word is preceded with 4 adjectives. Did you notice the order in which the adjectives occur? Now, let us know the order of adjectives. And firstly, determiner. Second, opinion. Third, size. Fourth, shape. Fifth, age. Sixth, color. Seventh, origin. Eighth, material. Ninth and the last one, that is the head word or noun. So these are the 9 things which we should keep in mind while writing the order of adjectives. Let us discuss what are these in detail. Determiners, this, that, these, those, my, mine, articles, etc. Opinions, lovely, useful, cute, beautiful, difficult, amazing, fabulous, excellent. Size, big, small, tall, short. Age, old, new, ancient, young, adult. Shape, round, triangular, square. Color, red, green, pink, yellow, etc. Origin, British, English, Indian, Japanese, Chinese. Material, cotton, gold, tin, wood, copper, silver. And then now. Students, now let us do the exercise on this topic. And the first one, we wanted blank table within brackets grey a metal. Second one, they bought blank car within brackets red a new. Third one, they went on holiday to blank cabin within bracket small wooden a beautiful. And the last one, he bought blank suit within brackets woolen a British fabulous. Now we have to arrange the adjectives according to their order: determiner, opinion, size, shape, age, color, origin, material, and noun. Let us check the first one, a grey metal table, and the answer is we wanted a grey metal table. Second one, they bought a new red car. Third one, they went on holiday to a beautiful small wooden cabin. Fourth one, he bought a fabulous British woolen suit. In this manner, we have to arrange the adjectives according to their order. Let us go to the working with the language. In this section, we will deal with grammar part. Look at this sentence from the story. I spotted it in a junk shop in Bridport. A roll-top desk. The man said it was early 19th century and oak. I had wanted one, but they were far too expensive. This one was in a bad condition. Students, look at some of the words in italic form. Can you say what are these words? Spotted, said, was. In which tense these words are? Simple past tense. Very good. What is past tense? Verbs that tell us about actions that happened before in the past. Students, let me check how far you have understood this topic. Read the passage given below and identify the verbs in the past tense. I paid the man and brought it back to my workroom at the back of the garage. I began work on it on Christmas Eve. I removed the roll top completely and pulled out the drawers. Now, students, can you identify the words which are in past tense? Let us do. Paid, brought, began, removed, pulled. Very good. Students, look at this sentence from the story. The veneer had lifted almost everywhere. It looked like water damage to me. Both fire and water had taken their toll on this desk. Students, notice the verb forms present in this passage. So what are the verb forms? Had lifted and had taken. Now let us see the part. The author found and bought the desk in the past. The desk was damaged before the author found it and bought it. Fire and water had damaged the desk before the author found it and bought it. That means before the author found the desk and bought it, the desk was already damaged. That means in the past, two actions or events had occurred. What are they? Let us discuss in brief. Now, let us see. If two events occur in the past, then the event that occurs first is expressed in the past tense or earlier past. and its structure is had plus V3 or had plus past participle. Now, coming to the second one. The event that occurs second is expressed in past tense and its structure is V2 or past tense. Find out difference in meaning in the sentences below. First one, when I reached the station, the train left. Second one, when I reached the station, the train had left. Students, do you notice any difference between these two sentences? Yes. In this first sentence, the two events or the verb forms, that is reached and left, have occurred simultaneously and so expressed in the past tense, that is reached and left. Now coming to the second sentence, that is when I reached the station, the train had left. Two events, that is had left and reached, had occurred at different times in the past, that is earlier past and past. So the event which occurred first is said to be earlier past and expressed in the past perfect, that is had left. And in the second, the event which occurred second is said to be past and expressed in the past tense, that is reached. Students, let us do the exercise related to verb forms. Fill in the blanks with correct form of the verbs in the brackets. And the first sentence, she had been in the house when it caught fire. I explained about the desk, about how I had found it. No one really knew how the fire had started. He had written a letter before he arrived. Now, you have to place the past verb forms and earlier past. Coming to the first sentence, the past verb form is caught and the earlier past is had been. Coming to the second sentence, the past verb form is explained and earlier past is had found. And the third, the past form is knew and the earlier past is had started. And coming to the last one, the past form is arrived and the earlier past is had written. I hope you understood well. Here is the question. He dash leave within brackets the party before Sheila arrive within brackets there. And the options are A. Left had arrived, B. Left arrived, C. Had left arrived, D. Leave arrived. Which one is the correct option? C. Had left and arrived is the correct answer. Let us go to our next topic, that is speaking. Express your ideas on the topic if wars are the only ways to resolve conflict. Here are some points and you can discuss with your friends and add some more points to this topic if wars are the only ways to resolve conflict. Now look at these points. No, wars are not a good way to resolve conflicts. It is better to resolve conflict through dialogue, discussions or by apologize. By means of wars, children are orphaned and wives become widows. Wars leads to enmity and leaving a forbidden gap between the two countries. Now you can add some more points. Now let us go to the writing part, that is letter writing. Are you ready? Okay. Letters are mainly classified into two categories. One is informal letters and the second one is formal letters. Informal letters. These are also known as personal letters, usually written to family, friends, relatives and neighbors. These letters may have or may not have a concrete reason of writing. Let us discuss the important elements of informal letters. And the first one is sender's address, second one date, third one salutation, fourth one the body of the letter, fifth one complimentary closure, sixth one concluding line, and the last one, signature line. These are the important elements of informal letter. Let us discuss one by one in detail. And the first one, sender's address. It is the mailing address of the sender. It is an essential part of both formal and informal address. It is known as the written address. It consists of building number, street name, town or village name, and district or state name. For example, house number 1-92, Sridhar Nagar, Pathapatnam, Srikakulam. Now comes the second one, date. Succeeding the space after the written address comes the date. One may choose any format out of two. Date, month, year, or month, date, year. For example, 12th December, 2023 or December 12th, 2023. Then comes the salutation. It is the customary greeting to the recipient of the letter. For blood relations who are older, respected. For blood relations who are younger, my dear or dear. For intimate friends and relatives, my dear or dear. The most important part of the letter, that is the body of the letter. It is the most important element of the letter. It mainly consists of three subparts, and they are: the first one, introductory paragraph; second one, middle paragraph, which is the main one; and third, concluding paragraph. Coming to the concluding line, it comes at the end of the letter. It always begins as a new paragraph. It is determined by the writer's relation with the addressee. For friends, the concluding line is with best regards or with best wishes. For parents, with love and respect or with respect and regards. For younger relatives, with love or with best wishes. And complimentary closure. It is a polite way to end our letter with respect. The complimentary closure may be in the following way: yours lovingly or yours affectionately. Coming to the last one, signature. It is the last part of the letter where the sender signs off with his or her first and last name. For example, Sridhar Mavidi or Mavidi Sridhar. Students, let us discuss all the elements of informal letter at a glance. And firstly, house number 1-92, Sridhar Nagar, Srikakulam. It is sender's address. 12th December 2023. It is date. And coming to the next one, dear Rani, salutation. I received your letter yesterday and was delighted to know that you are coming here on next Sunday, and so on. It is the body of the letter. Next one, convey my regards to all. Concluding line, yours lovingly, complimentary closure, and finally Sridhar Mavidi, signature. So I hope you have understood the format of informal letter. Let me check how far you have understood the letter writing. And the question is the customary greeting to the recipient of the letter. Option A, signature. Option B, date. Option C, body. And option D, salutation. So which one is the correct answer? Yes, salutation is the correct answer. Next one, arrange the elements of the letter in a sequential order. Complimentary closure, body, concluding line, date, sender's address, signature line, salutation. Can you arrange these elements in a sequential order? Yes, do it. And the correct order is sender's address, date, salutation, body, concluding line, complementary closure, signature line. Very good. Now, let us go to the poem, The Ant and the Cricket. Let us know about the poet. Aesop is likely to be an ancient Greek storyteller who retold approximately 600 stories as fables or stories with lessons in them, now collectively known as Aesop's fables. He was born around 620 BC in the Greek colony of Mesembria. Although his existence remains unclear and no writings by him survive, numerous tales credited to him were gathered across the centuries and in many languages in a storytelling tradition that continues to this day. Actually, what a fable is. Aesop's fable teach children lessons or morals through stories using animals as characters with human characteristics and feelings. Let us read the poem The Ant and the Cricket. A silly young cricket accustomed to sing through the warm sunny months of gay summer and spring began to complain when he found that at home his cupboard was empty and winter was come. Not a crumb to be found on the snow-covered ground. Not a flower could he see, not a leaf on a tree. Oh, what will become, says the cricket, of me? At last, by starvation and famine, made bold, all dripping with wet and all trembling with cold, away he set off to a miserly ant to see if, to keep him alive, he would grant him shelter from rain. And a mouthful of grain he wished only to borrow, he would repay it tomorrow. If not, he must die of starvation and sorrow. Says the ant to the cricket, I am your servant and friend, but we ants never borrow. We ants never lend. But tell me, dear cricket, did you lay nothing by when the weather was warm? Quoth the cricket, not I. My heart was so light that I sang day and night, for all nature looked gay. You sang, sir, you say. Go then, says the ant, and dance the winter away. Thus ending, he hastily lifted the wicket, and out of the door turned the poor little cricket. Folks call this a fable. I will warrant it true. Some crickets have 4 legs, and some have 2. Let us go through the meanings of some difficult words from the poem. Accustomed to sing, used to singing, in the habit of singing. Crumb, a small fragment, especially of something baked, such as bread. Famine, an extreme scarcity of food. Let us see how this poem is a fable. Once there lived a cricket who spent all his time singing and dancing and never thought of winter while the ants were busy in collecting food for winter. Oh, my cupboard was empty and winter has come. I cannot find a crumb, a flower, or a leaf on the snow-covered ground. Oh, what will I be without food? I will ask my friend ant lend me a mouthful of grain and shelter from rain. I will repay it tomorrow. If not, I must die of starvation. Hello, ant. Hello, ant. Hello, my dear cricket. What can I do? Please lend me food and shelter. I am your servant and friend, but what? But we ants never borrow or lend. Oh, what to do? Did you lay anything during summer? No, I didn't. What did you do at that time? I sang day and night. Go then and dance the winter away. Oh God, what to do? Students, did you enjoy the poem? Why do you think the poem is a fable? Is the poet talking only about ants and cricket? No, he is talking about human beings also. Look at the last two lines in the poem. Folks call this a fable. I will warrant it true. Some crickets have four legs and some have two. Haven't you seen people who while away their time and at the time of need they frantically look out for text, notes and help? This story is about everyone who do not make the best use of time and think of future. Let me check how far you have understood this poem. And the first question is, accustomed to means A. Happy, B. Unhappy, C. Used to, and D. Irritated. So what is the right answer? Yes, used to. And the second question is, what did he expect to get from miserly ant? A. Food, B. Good advice, C. Shelter, and D. Food and shelter. What is the right answer? Yes, food and shelter is the right answer. Why was the cricket worried? The cricket was worried because it had no food. Students, we have completed past, earlier past, noun phrase and the poem The Ant and the Cricket. Now, let us go to the final assessment. Next question. By the time I dash written within the brackets, they dash fall within the brackets asleep. And the options are A. Returned, fell. B. Had returned, had fallen. C. Had returned, fell. And D. Returned, had fallen. The correct answer is returned, had fallen. Choose the statement in which the adjectives are in correct order. A. We ate some English round green apples. B. We ate green round English some apples. C. We ate some green round English apples. And D. We ate some round green English apples. So which is the correct one? Right. D is the correct one. We ate some round green English apples. And the next question. What was the cricket unhappy about? The cricket was unhappy about when the winter came, cupboards were empty and it had nothing to eat. Read the sentence and identify the noun phrase. She had a curled white hair. A. Curled white hair. B. White hair. C. A curled white hair. And D. Hair. Which one is the correct option? Yes, option C is the right answer. A curled white hair. The next question. Why was he dripping with wet? He was dripping with wet because he had no shelter. Now, coming to the next question. What did the cricket do when the weather was good? It sang and enjoyed when the weather was good. Identify the complementary closure for informal letters. Option A. Yours lovingly. B. Yours faithfully. C. Yours truly. And D. Yours faithfully with apostrophe S. And the correct option is yours lovingly. It's time for the home task. And the first question is, what is your opinion of the ants principle? Second one, write a letter to your friend and share your thoughts about the poem The Ant and the Cricket.